Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the astrology stars come together to help you. September's an exciting month. We go back to work, back to school, back to our routines, and here's the energy that will be affecting you. The tarot cards that will be used this month correspond with the astrology. They are the Two of Swords, which represents confusion and lack of vision. The Five of Cups, which represents loss and depression. The Moon, which represents emotions and the psychic. And the Seven of Wands, which represents holding one's own. Taurus, the tarot card for the first week of the month is the Two of Swords. Now, it shows a blindfolded woman, and she is holding two swords that are facing in different directions, and the moon is floating between them up in the air. So this suggests there may be some confusion in the air, and there could be a lack of clarity. So it's important to take a moment to look clearly at your present situation to gain understanding so that you can restore your balance. Then you can move ahead. Now, as we look down here into the astrology, the month begins with Mars down here in Virgo in your fifth house, and that's the house of pleasure and romance, in opposition to Neptune in Pisces and in the 11th house of associates. So that opposition suggests that you might run into some friction with friends if you're pushing your agenda too hard, what you want. So you have to use some reason to win the day, or otherwise other people may be able to fool you, and you don't want that. Now, you will be helped out by a trine from Mercury in the sixth house of your daily routine, and that is trine to Saturn up here in the top of your chart in your 10th house of career. So that's really a good trine. It can help you communicate with authority figures so you can understand what they want you to do so that you can be more successful. And then the week will end with Venus in the sixth house right here in the sign of Libra, square to Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Venus rules Libra. That's a good place for her. And Pluto is a very powerful planet. So when you have a square here, you have to be careful when you are proclaiming what you believe, especially as this is the house of understanding, and other people might not want to understand you. So you need to help understand them. So as we go into the second week, we see that the tarot card is the Five of Cups. Now, it shows a very despondent man who is not seeing the future. Look at all the cups down here, and even in his past there's still some good things. But there might be something in you deep inside that's troubling you on an emotional level. You may be feeling a loss or a personal disappointment. Now, this is a good time to let go of past disappointments and look to the future, look to a new direction to where you can be more successful. So as we look into the astrology for the second week, it begins with Venus entering Scorpio in your 7th house on the 10th. Now, Venus likes being in the 7th house, but does not particularly like being in Scorpio. But this should help you focus on your partners and their needs, and this will help you keep the peace. Now, you can be a bit emotional and possessive, so listen to your deeper feelings, but don't allow fear or differences to upset the apple cart, so to speak. And then there is a very big T-square. You see the moon moves up here, and she's squared to both Neptune and the Sun is in opposition to Neptune. This happens on the 13th and 14th, and this can bring some confusion that can affect your need to express yourself. So you need to listen carefully so you can sort out any subtle emotional differences that can affect your interactions, especially when you're dealing with professional associates, because that can, affect your job and career. So you have to be a little bit careful. Don't make foolish mistakes. The card for the third week of the month is the moon, Luna. It shows the moon shining in the sky. But there is a dog and a wolf that are howling at the moon, and there is a crayfish exiting the waters. So this card suggests that there's a lot of psychic and emotional energy affecting you on a deep subconscious level. You may need to deepen yourself and listen to the messages coming to you. They may be bringing you great insight for your future. So as we look to the astrology for the third week, it's disrupted in the beginning by a square between Venus and Saturn. So this is a challenge, and it challenges you to be careful with intimate information, especially when you're dealing in partnerships or career situations. This is up in the 10th house of career. You may find your values are not in line or in sync with partners, and this can cause some hard feelings. So just be a little careful, be aware. Now the full moon, you see the moon will move here in opposition to the sun. That happens on the 20th, and it suggests that you may need to spend some time working on a good cause. So getting out of your own head and trying to help others. This can lift your spirits and make you feel that you're needed in the world. And then we have a Mercury right down here square to Pluto on the 22nd. Now that deals with health and work issues, and it is very important that you be careful with your communications. You have to avoid mistakes, and please check your calendar twice. If you have any important appointments, make sure you're on time. As we go into the fourth week, the tarot card for the last week of the month is the Seven of Wands. Now this card shows a man holding his own against opposing forces because he has taken the higher ground. Now, this suggests there's a lot of energy. Look at all that energy in that card. And there is some that is combative, some that is disruptive, and some that is just plain old simple competition. You can hold your own against the forces around you, but you should try to maintain your sense of truth and justice. Now, as we look into the fourth week of the month, the first thing is Venus in your seventh house right here. That's where she belongs, in the house of partnership, but she is in Scorpio and she doesn't like that too much. And she will be opposing Uranus in the first house on the 23rd. Now, it is very important that you are not too willful when dealing with other people, especially your partners or the public. Your personal agenda may need a bit of an adjustment. You might have to be a little bit more gentle with people. There will be a trine from Mars up to Saturn, and that can help heal any mistakes that you've made in work or career. But be wary about what you say, because as you can see in the purple here, Mercury will go retrograde on the 27th in your sixth house of work. So you need to pay attention to details so you don't make any silly mistakes. And then the 30th brings a need for common sense with partners, because Venus and Jupiter will be squared. And that's very excessive energy, and you may be a little bit too egotistical or even maybe too generous for your own good. So use common sense. Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and this is my story. If you are a spiritual seeker, it may help you on your journey. I believe your spiritual development is as important as your religion. If you look at Christianity, it focuses on the life of Jesus. But Jesus was never a Christian. He was Jewish. If this thought intrigues you, you'll enjoy my new book, Light from Water, Freeing Jesus. It's available on Amazon.com and through fine bookstores. And it may help you on your spiritual journey. I'd like to thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe because these videos are free, and hit the little bell for notifications. And for a special offer, visit my website, internetpsychicreadings.com. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out.